I am 24 years old. I may have the complexion of an 18-year-old. I may act like an immature 14-year-old, but I'm only 24. And I'm afraid to bring a child into this world. Not because I have a fear of being a bad dad. I acknowledge what I lack, but I know I won't be alone. Not because I'll be scared during late nights when my child is out, because I'll raise them like trees. Their roots will always guide them home. I'm not afraid because I'm not good at listening, or sometimes I'm not confident when I'm leading, or how bad I am when it comes to consoling. I'm afraid of what rape culture teaches my child when I'm not looking. Rape culture. Whew. Rape culture is when we say it's all right for somebody to sexually abuse or assault somebody else. Feels like an unspoken law that for years we've allowed to dictate our lives. It's like a toxic smoke infecting the lungs of our young ones, poisoning our mouths so we think every word that opposes it is distasteful. Rape culture is the ease of access to porn, that sexual assault can be normalized, your romance, consent, and love trivialized. Rape culture is blaming past mistakes and alcohol, yet shaming the victim for the hand unfair. Rape culture looks like men expecting women to explain how they feel just so men should care. Rape culture sounds like Billy Bush laughing when a future president talked about grabbing women inappropriately, thinking locker room talk is a good enough excuse to excuse any... Thinking locker room talk is a good enough excuse to excuse any who accuse them of abuse so freely. Rape culture is a bunch of roastbusters getting caught, tried, yet no prosecution. A small group of Wellington boys Facebooking their intent and action towards unsuspecting victims, because consequences no longer matter when you're hidden in the safety of the comment section. It teaches boys that actions do not have a cost, even if it leads to abuse or harass. The consequences can be like broken glass that you broke. It teaches girls that a short skirt it's a free pass. That your voice and mind don't count no matter what you were taught. It teaches kids that if you don't talk, you won't get caught. That you can distort the truths and get away with it fast. Now, I understand that most of us want to pass rape culture off as just another easy to fix issue. But that mindset only further perpetrates the problem. And maybe I'm afraid because, truth be told, I've contributed to this culture. I'm not a rapist, but I've added to this problem through the way that I used to talk about women, to my silence when I hear rape culture, or the very fact that it's taken me 24 years to take this problem seriously. So I will no longer be afraid. I'll live in the hope for a better future. That as a man, I'll take ownership for my part and take responsibility for the future. Now, I don't know what solutions or answers there are to this problem, but I know being afraid to have kids isn't one of them. Psych myself out there now, I forgot where I was. So scratch that, I'll start with myself. Understanding what rape culture teaches so I can make up lessons of my own. If I have a son, I will delete every mansplaining tendency he'll get from me. I'll teach him to take responsibility. Responsibility of the condition of his heart, mind, soul, and body. That words are important. That they jump off the cliff of your tongue with the intention of soaring. That enough men and women have tried and fallen, that it's his turn to be fly if I have a daughter. I will replace the burden of society with a picture of 3 nails to give her an idea of what she is worth. I will tell her daily that she is a queen. Sorry. I will tell her daily that she is a queen. That her heart is bigger than any pair of hands wanting to steal it. That she shouldn't be afraid to share her story. I will teach her spoken word. Because poetry can be the eyes that you cry through. And to never be afraid to cry a river. Because it may be somebody's direction to the ocean. I'll teach my kids to do all that you can, for God will do what you can't. That you are a person of free will. I am 24 years old. I may have the complexion of an 18-year-old. I may sometimes act like an immature 14-year-old, most of the time. But I'm only 24, and I can't wait to have kids. Because rape culture, I will make sure, will be afraid of them.